Hello, I'm Deborah Sword,
Hi, I'm Tyson Bankers.
and today we're trying something a little different.
Yeah, I like this, by the way. This is great.
Hello, it's good to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you in
we
person
yeah, we do
again.
know each other in person. It's great.
So I want to talk about the t-shirt first of all, is I want to wear the same thing every time just so that I don't have the anxiety of worrying about what to wear. It's just not what I want to deal with.
I love it. I love it.
You, on the other hand, look great.
I'm wearing pink and orange today to the fall colors. So
And for Truth and Reconciliation Day as
exactly, that's
well.
right. That's right.
Thank you for joining us. Tyson, I'd like to talk about the reason Conflict Owners Manual takes the approach that we do. And we don't talk a lot about conflict resolution.
We
What do you,
don't?
we don't. It's not a word we use.
That's right, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought much about that, but you're right. Resolution isn't necessarily always the goal.
No, and the R in our vocabulary isn't conflict resolution, it's conflict
Mm,
reactivity, conflict response. We're taking a step back to the beginning
mm.
and looking at how do you prevent, how do you manage, how do you analyze, how do you de-escalate, and how do you learn the lessons of conflict?
So the pattern I'm hearing is the word you, which
Yeah,
I think is like really important when I think about conflict resolution. It typically also means the other person, but what we're saying is what only you can do, which is the conflict owner's manual.
that's right. And it's all packaged under ownership. How do you take ownership of your response, your reaction, your contribution, and your learning?
Mm.
So we're not looking at how do you resolve this particular conflict. And I'm really sorry that your father-in-law or your sister or your boss is giving you grief.
Hmm.
If you take a step back and look at owning the conflict with all of the things that we've talked about, all of the approaches, all of the ways of
Hmm.
analyzing your empathy mapping, you learn the lessons to be able to manage each and every conflict in the context as it arises instead of focusing on that one person, that one context.
So Deborah, what would you say about to someone though who maybe is disappointed when you are offering when we offer this great work and sort of that they might go, well, I didn't come to a resolution about the conflict that I had. I thought this was what was going to lead us. You've done lots of different workshops and lots of bringing people together to I think what the expectation is to resolve the conflict, and yet that isn't, and yet the conflict still remains. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, yeah, what would.
So I have two answers.
Mhm.
One is I don't do binaries
Right,
very well.
right.
If you give me an either or, I'm always going to look for the both.
Mm,
And that's another way to own your conflict.
mm,
So when you say, but I'm only looking for the resolution, I say, okay. And if you take a step back and look at what we talk about,
uh-huh.
all of those together will get you there
Right.
after you own your conflict,
Mhm.
after you learn the lessons, after
Yeah,
you,
taking responsibility or accountability. Yeah, because I think that's something that often happens in what we the almost performative resolution, where it goes all of it. We've I'm sorry for whatever I did, or let's just move past this. Is in some ways a resolution, like right in theory, but in practice, both parties are you or yourself are still operating
yes.
with those lacking of the skills. So the conflict will continue to emerge again, or something new will continue to build on if we just think of it as resolved or unresolved.
Well said. Yes, and you said move past it. The Conflict Owners Manual
Right.
wants you to stay in it,
Hmm.
work through it,
Hmm.
learn the lesson, and actually do the repair.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
ours are a little different than resolution.
Mm.
It's about repair, response, and resolution is what you do after all of that. It,
Hmm.
it is a naturally emerging outcome from owning your conflict.
Mm.
It's not the goal.
Mhm.
So I had two responses. The first one is that it's not an either or.
Mm.
It's The resolution is, as I say, a naturally emerging
Hmm.
consequence
Hmm.
of owning your conflict. The other is also a both.
Right.
By all means, go to some of the other very wonderful podcasts and experts who will talk to you about
Mm.
resolution. Absolutely go to them. I support them. I listen to them myself. I respect them and ours as well,
Hmm.
because it's also a both.
Right. Right. Mm.
So that's what we're trying to do for you, with you, about you, is that kind of guidance for you to own your conflict.
Hmm.
Any last words, Tyson?
Mm. I feel like it can also help to reduce what can often feel overwhelming, right? So much of this is what you can own. And as you've mentioned, this episode and in previous ones. And I think it also allows for some of the of that pressure of like I've got this. You've got what it takes. You have you're putting yourself in positions to practice these skills so that would then it doesn't maybe reduce the current conflict, but it might help you in the next one, right? And then the next one after that. It's not just a, as your point, a binary of one size fits all. It's really this ongoing practice.
For me too.
Yeah.
I've been doing this most of my adult life,
Hmm.
and it's still a learning
Hmm.
process for me. It's about developing and improving the conflict competencies you already have. I never stop learning.
Great.
And thank you for being one of my teachers.
Well, thank you. Okay.
We hope you will subscribe to our podcast, like it, share it, and we are going to be talking about other conflict competencies. So please come back and listen again.